A devastating fire to one of the world's premier racetracks, the release of Ducati's new MotoGP bike, and a new Guinness World Record. All of that's going to be covered in today's episode of the Road Racing 360 Show, presented by 1833 CJ Knows. Now, this is the first episode, so if it's not that great, I'm sorry. Stick with us. I promise we're going to be getting better. Now, today we're really just going to be covering a lot of the news that's happened the last week, but as we get further along, we're going to introduce new segments, viewer comments, answer questions, all sorts of stuff. So I hate to start on a down note, but our first set of news is talking about the fire that broke out over the weekend at the Termas de Rio Hondo circuit. Now, this is a circuit in Argentina that usually hosts the second round of MotoGP World Championship. So while the exact cause of the fire is not known yet, we do know that it started in the VIP facilities area and then spread to the press room as well as the TV broadcast area. So as you can see from the picture, the damage was pretty extensive. And it's going to take a lot of time and money before they can repair all those facilities before they're ready to host anything again. Our thoughts go out to those at the Termas de Rio Hondo circuit. We hope you guys can get it back ready so we can get back to racing there once you guys are all ready to go. Before we get too far into the video, I have to thank our show sponsor, 1833 CJ Knows, for making this all possible. Czaia with 1833 CJ Knows is an injury attorney dedicated to helping and fighting for those who have suffered serious injuries due to car accident or motorcycle accident, medical malpractice, or through the negligence of others. Each personal injury case is different and unique. The firm is committed to educating and guiding you through all aspects of your case. From beginning to end, they're here to get you the right care and compensation you deserve. Call 1833-CJ-KNOWS. That's 1833-255-6697, and they'll get you set up. Earlier this week, Ducati also announced their new MotoGP bike. As you can see, there are a couple differences from last year's bike, most notably a new title sponsor. It seems that Lenovo has taken the spot that last year was occupied by Mission Winnow. So cool news for Ducati that they've got a new title sponsor as well as two new riders on that bike this year. We also saw Francesco Bagnaia and Jack Miller in their new leathers, new bike, all ready to go. I am excited to see these two new factory riders on a new bike, as well as see what developments Ducati has made over the winter once we get going with preseason testing soon. Now, also over the last week, we've seen another Ducati team release their 2021 bike. The Renewal Avintia team released their new bike with two new riders, Enea Bastianini and Luca Marini. The Avintia team is seeing two new rookie riders with two different liveries. You'll notice that on Luca Marini's bike, it actually looks very, very similar, almost actually exactly the same as his Moto2 bike from last year. And part of that was a deal with Avintia to get the VR46 brand up into MotoGP for the first time. So while we haven't seen the two rookies on their new MotoGP bikes on track yet, we should be able to in the next few weeks. It looks like early March is going to be the first chance they have to get on track on the new Premier Class machines. The most successful team in MotoGP history, Honda, has announced that they are going to stay in the series and have renewed until 2026. Now, while this announcement wasn't really a surprise to anybody, it is still good to see that Honda has renewed and committed to MotoGP for at least another 5 years. In other news, including the Repsol Honda team, there are some rumors flying around that Andrea Dovizioso could potentially be a replacement rider for Marc Marquez if he's not healthy and ready to go for the beginning of the MotoGP season. When those involved with the Repsol Honda team were asked about this rumor, they stated they didn't think Dovizioso may be interested, and what most likely would happen was they would stick with their test rider, Stefan Bradl, like they had last season in the case that Marquez is not ready to go. Now, in more sad news related to a racetrack on the MotoGP calendar, it seems that Brno is no longer going to be hosting a race in 2021. Now, there's a to-be-determined date left open for Brno on the MotoGP calendar, and that seems to be removed. In a statement by the management of the track, it was said that they were no longer deciding to hold World Championship events in the future. Now, this is sort of a bummer because Brno seems like a really cool track. It provides for some really good racing, and they've been on the MotoGP calendar for as long as I can remember. Actually, it's been since 1987, with only 1 year in 1992 missing. In an interview with journalist Joan Mir said that he is not the title favorite. Now, despite winning the MotoGP championship in 2020, He said that unless Marquez is not fit, that he is not the favorite. He said it was more so his consistency and not his outright speed that won him the championship. In his quote, he did say, "The favorite, if he comes back at 100%, is Mark. He has more experience than me, more titles, more speed, and he's the man to beat. If you remove him, I don't see a favorite. Probably in that case it's me, but if Mark is on the track, it will be him." To wrap up our MotoGP news, we got an update from Aprilia team boss Fausto Gresini and his condition, recovering from COVID-19. It was said in a statement released Monday that Gresini had suffered a difficult week with the complications from COVID-19 and that while he was stable, his situation is still serious and his prognosis remains confidential. Moving on to news on the other side of the pond in the Moto America paddock, there's a new Guinness World Record. Josh Herrin, in partnership with Fresh and Lean, set the world record for the world's fastest elbow drag. So to set the record, with camera crew and Guinness World Record officials on hand, Herrin drug his elbow at 162.4 kilometers for over 30 meters on a Yamaha R6 at the Buttonwillow Raceway Park circuit. If you'd like to see the whole video from Josh Herrin's record-setting attempt, you can head over to Fresh and Lean's YouTube page and see the whole video there. In a press release by Warhorse HSBK Racing, Ducati New York, it was announced that Loris Baz would be piloting the Ducati V4 for them for this season. After riding in World Superbike and MotoGP for the last handful of years, Baz comes to America with one goal: to win the championship. In a quote, Loris said, "I'm super happy to join the HSBK team and Moto America. It'll be a big challenge, but I will have all the tools, the right team, and the right bike with Ducati. We only have one target for the 2021 Moto America Superbike, and that's to win the championship. I am super happy and thankful for the opportunity. I will work as hard as needed with the Dunlop tires and the V4R to reach the goal of winning. I also have to learn all the new tracks, which the team will help me with. It's a massive challenge, but I have everything needed to win." Also joining their effort as team manager is Geraldo Ferracci. Now, Ferracci is a legend with Ducati. He brought them their first of 2 World Superbike championships as well as 2 AMA Superbike championships. It'll be really interesting this season seeing a world-class rider and a world-class manager join a team that already has a proper bike that's proven it can win. So now there still may be some surprise teams and announcements that haven't been released yet. It looks like 2021 is shaping up to be a pretty interesting season in the Superbike class for Moto America. And finally, in Moto America, the last announcement that we have for this week is Pure Attitude announced their racing plans. Now, while they didn't release what their rider lineup is going to be, they did say that they were going to have entries in Superbike, Supersport, as well as Twins Cup. So I'm interested to see what riders they have on their bikes and what bikes they're going to be racing. So while I was editing this, I realized that we never filmed an outro scene for this whole video. So I'm coming back at you at 11 p.m. at night to tell you thank you for watching the video. Tune in next week. Tune in for some of the more videos that we've got coming out. Y'all have a great night.